I want to show you a little bit of something about contouring hours. When you look at this task over here, task AG, it's a 5-day task. Now, there's only one resource on this, and that's Clutch Cargo, and he is working 100%. In other words, there are 5 days of duration. There's 8 hours of work a day, possibly. So he's putting in the full 8 hours. And we know that too because when we applied Clutch, we applied them as 100%. So here's the situation. What happened is Clutch called us and said, listen, I am willing still to do your particular task, but I'm only going to be able to work half days. Well, if he's going to be working half days, that means that this 5-day task is going to turn into 10 days, right? So how do we account for this situation? Well, one way could be that we would go back into our resources here. We go back into our assign resources. We see Clutch there currently applied at 100%. So we need to change him to 50%, see? So 50%, and then we just go ahead and hit the enter key on that. And what happens then is, if you can see, I'll close this up now, is the duration had doubled, right? And that was because of the fact that originally it was one person doing the task for 5 days. It was one person could get done with that task in 5 days. Well, going half a person, that would have to double the days. So then what happens as well is you'll get this little smart tag on the side popping up. So we just click onto that. So we have to signal here that, yeah, we want to change the duration, but keep the amount of work the same, right? So we're going to click on to that. And that will then, if you look at the resource now, it still says it's 50%. So he's applying himself half the time, half the day, or 4 hours a day over 10 days versus 8 hours a day over 5 days. Let's look at this on another one here. Let's look at, oh, here, we got another one for Clutch. Let's do that one. So here's another Clutch situation, right? I think it's just one resource on there. Oh, actually, we got a couple there. Let's pick somebody else. Let's go with, we got here. There we go. So we got our Cinco swarm here, okay? All that is up to, it's a group of 5, and we can have as many as we want, up to 5 when we apply that particular resource. Well, regardless, now Cinco swarm in this situation, they give us even worse news than we had before. In this case, we're told that that they can only give us about 2 hours a day. Now that means that we're going to have to turn this into a 16-day duration. Now we can do this a little bit differently. I'm going to do it just a tad differently. So I know it's going to be 16 days, right? So I can actually just go to here, increase this to 16, all right? Enter that in, all right? And I'm going to get one of those little smart tags popping up there, a little green wedgie. So I'll click onto that, and it says you increase. So it says you increase the work, but you want to keep the hours, resources, work per day the same, or do we want to decrease the hours, resources, work per day, but keep the amount of work? Well, in that case, we'd want to go with the second one here. So we click onto that. See? So now that brings it down to 25%. So it would have been just like going back into the resource window there and made them 25%, and it would have brought this thing up to 16. Let's look at this next one here. I'll show you one more of these. Now with the Cinco swarm here, they tell us that they can only give us 6 hours a day. All right. So in this situation, what we'll do is we'll go back into assign resources while we're on that task there. And then what we'll do is we'll go over here to the Cinco here, and what we'll do is we'll change them to 75%. We'll have to type that in. So 75%. All right. So you'll notice how the cost doesn't change because we're still going to allow them to work that many hours. It's just that it's going to be spread over a few more days. See, so we do that, and we click on it, close. All right, and there we go, and that's it. And we didn't get any little marker coming up because we did it inside the window there. So that worked out pretty good. So 75% on that one. So that's how you go about changing the amount of work that happens on a per day basis. See, so it isn't necessarily that that a day is always equal to 8 hours of work. It could be anything, really. And we saw that earlier too with other videos. But this kind of shows you the whole idea. And hopefully this kind of makes it come together better for you. So I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.